Hello YouTube, another little video today. Today not really talking about running, more general just fitness, weight training and how your body looks and how your body feels and getting into fitness. There was a bit of a topic I wanted to talk about, but I saw on Twitter today a post. It was actually shared or liked from someone else that I already follow. So it got me thinking, and I thought I'll change the topic I wanted to talk about and I'll roll it into this as well. So people who follow me for a while, they'll know me, that a bit about my history and my changing of my type of training. So I'll talk about it again, what I used to be like, what I've changed into, and why I've changed, and also then my finishing points would be what I think is the best. And I use that word best as remember the word best, because that's part of the tweet which has caused me to make this video. Right, so when I was about 13 or 14, my older brother, he went to university. So when he left, my dad then said to me, well, what do I want to do? I'm next. Only a couple of years left in school, so I better start thinking about what I wanted to do. And he gave me a few options of different jobs which he thought would suit me. I wasn't the best in school. I was probably top, I don't know, it's different ratings these days, but I wasn't the best. I was quite good if I tried, but I didn't really try. So he offered me some manual type jobs, and none of them seemed to light my fire. I didn't really want to do any of them. He mentioned the army, and then that's why I thought I'll join the army. He made it sound really good. He sold it to me really well. If he worked at the careers office, he'd have a lot of commission. But yeah, running around, jumping around, it sounded like playing really. Be fit and get some money, and it sounded really good. So I joined the army basically. But from the age of 15, I think I was probably about 15, I started running. I was already fit already. I'd already played rugby for a couple of years for my local town, different age groups. So I was quite good at rugby. I was entering cross-country runs in school, sprinting. I always thought it was 100 metres, but I think kids do 60 metres. So 100 metres, 200 metres, 400 metres, I've always been good at that. Cross-country runs, not too far. I think we should run about 3 laps of the park, so about 3 miles probably. Probably not even that if I think about it. But when I was about 15, me and my older brother, we started running. I thought it was 3 miles again, but if I work it out now using my Garmin watch, it's probably 2.5 probably. So when I think my old days, how fit I was fast, but I probably wasn't as quick in time as I think I was. But anyway, so I joined the army. The first year of my life in the army, I just did running with trainers and shorts and t-shirt. We did running with a bit of weight, so going into tabbing. So tabbing is when you're marching with boots, trousers, usually a jacket on, and then later on when you got your gun with you, with a rucksack on, and it could have been like assault courses and in the mud, and yeah, so not just running, it was more weights running. And I also did a lot of circuit training. So the only weight training I did for the first year of my life in the army was just press-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups, climbing up ropes, jumping over obstacles, body weight stuff. In pairs sometimes, piggyback races, fireman's lifts, wheelbarrow type races, body weight squats, star jumps, that kind of thing. But no real weights. Sometimes using a medicine ball, however heavy they were. But this was like 2000. So before people started selling medicine balls and kettlebells, this was using the old big heavy leather medicine balls. And then when I turned about 18, I started moving from being a teenager into moving to work more with adults. So I wasn't the biggest. I was probably at 10 or 11 stone when I was like 18. And I thought in my mind, I needed to get a bit of weight added on my body, because if I'm going to be working with adults, with men, I'm going to have to pull my own weight. And I don't want to get bullied because I can't lift and carry the same as adults can. So, and when I was 16 and 18, I thought adults were 20-year-old, 24-year-old, 28-year-old. I thought that was old, because when you're 16, that does seem old. But looking back on it, now I'm 37, a 20-year-old, he's still a lad to me. But that's what I had in my mind. So I did a bit of weights, 18, 19, 20. And I remember I used to go up and down on body weight. I used to try for maybe 6 months to put weight on, and I got stronger, because maybe I was at one camp where there wasn't a lot of cardio required. So we had a lot of time off, and every night I'd go to the gym, do weight training. And then after a certain course, I might return to base, where I'm normally based, and then I'd realise I put a bit too much weight on and haven't done enough cardio. And then we go through a spell of 6 months of training, exercises and things. So I'd have to do more cardio and no weights. So I'd lose weight, body weight wise. Because if you're away for 6 months doing a lot of manoeuvres and exercises, I don't mean exercise and fitness exercise. That's what we call when you go away camping for like a couple of weeks and you're doing training. So you lose body weight, and then the next 6 months might be relaxed in training terms. So you do more weight training, and your summer holidays coming up, so you want to get buff. So for a couple of years, my body went up and down, up and down. Even when I went away on tour abroad, you do a lot of weight training at night because there's nothing else to do. There's no shopping, or you can't go and visit family. You can't watch TV. So every night, all the lads go down to the gym, do an hour or two of weight training, and then lie in your bed watching DVDs. So there wasn't a lot of cardio done. When I decided to leave the army altogether, I wasn't massive. I was probably about 13 or 14 stone. In the last year of my life in the army, you sign off and you hand your notice in, and then you do interviews and you do preparing to leave. So I got a bit bigger again because I thought I'm not going to do any more running. I also broke my leg in the last year in the army, so I thought I can't run anymore. I'll just get bigger. So from 2008 to 2018, I was just bodybuilding. I went from 13-ish, probably 13 stone, up to 17.5 stone of just bodybuilding. No cardio. The only cardio I used to do was very little, was on a few bodybuilding competitions on the preps. I used to do a little bit of fasted walking in the morning. So I'd get up at 6 in the morning before breakfast, maybe do half an hour walk. But even a walk would get me out of breath. And then in 2018, that's when I decided I'm going to stop weight training. I'm going to just do cardio. So I upgraded from my bike to a better bike, and I started doing the turbo training, and I lost loads of weight. And my goal was to lose weight. I don't want to be big at all. So now I'm down to, this morning I was 180 pounds. So just under 13 stone. So I've lost quite a bit. I'm a lot fitter. The last 3 weeks, as my vlogs have shown, I've done some running. I could up to 11 miles running. So now that's what I've done. I've been big. I've been a general soldier fitness type person. When I worked in one gym, I used to do body pump, kettlebell class, what did I do? I did body pump, kettlebells, personal training. I did, what's it called? Legs and bums class and abs, MetaFit, all these different classes. But yeah, so I've been a general fitness type person. I've been a big, massive person. I've touched on powerlifting. I didn't enter any competitions apart from a little charity one. But I've done a lot of deadlifts, squats, bench press was my favourite. Bench press and biceps are the best I'm good at. But now I've started doing running, and I'm looking at goals towards what I used to be like when I was 17 and 18 and 20. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm obviously older, I'm bigger, I'm going to go, there's no way you could be as fit as what you were back then days. But I'm looking at my Strava, and my friends who used to be in the army, some are still in the army, they're fitter now than what they probably were in them days. I got a couple of friends who aren't in the army, who are the same age as me, who I was just as fit as them back in them days, and they're really fit now, and they're actually fitter than some of the lads who are still in the army. So just because you're in the army doesn't mean you're really fit. I know a lot of people who are a lot fitter, faster. I know they specialise just in running, so if you had to carry a rucksack, well then they wouldn't be so good. And they can't do press-ups and any weights at all because they're just lean and just running. So moving on then to today's vlog, what I've seen. So I was scrolling my Twitter this morning, and there's been a lot of people talking on Twitter now about the Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp crash from the other day. So everybody all went onto Twitter for a few hours because the Facebooks had crashed and the WhatsApps had crashed. And now then, it's back up and running. Everyone switched back over to their usual socials. But what I see is there's a lot of people, say in their 20s, who are talking about fitness now, and they think that things are brand new. Oh yeah, look at this new exercise I just discovered, the bench press. Well, hang on, that was done years ago. Right, so I'm 27 now. I've trained weight training since I was about 15, so 22 years I've done training. I've done running, I've done calisthenics, I've done plyometrics, I've done weight training, I've done strength training, I've done bodybuilding training, powerlifting training. And a lot of these people now, they're only 22 years old in age. My training age is older than their chronological age, their real age. I've trained for longer in years than they've been alive in years. And then when they post up these things, oh look, this is my protein. Well, I've been having protein longer than you've been alive, right? So, but because they're on social media, every year somebody else turns 18, they turn 18, they turn it. There's always a fresh lot of people who are posting things because they think it's new, because it's new to them. But there's one post that they liked and shared. It's from a major clothing brand. And I've stayed away from this clothing brand because I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and just buy their clothes and then post, oh, thanks for my new tracksuit trousers. Well, you bought them and they're mega overpriced. They got 317.4 thousand followers on Twitter alone that I've seen this morning. So obviously they posted this photo because they know they're going to get 317.4 thousand likes and shares. And if I looked on their website or their bio, they've probably released some new clothes today. So they obviously want 317,000 people to click on their catalogue and go and buy them. It's a selling technique, but people are stupid. People are just believing it because they see this big brand. If I had to put the same comment, I bet I'd have had 0 follows, 0 shares, 0 likes. But because they've said it, well then, it's the best thing since sliced bread. And the person who invented this gym company, he's gone from 0 to a millionaire in a couple of years, trying hard. Well done to him, but again, he's younger than me. So whatever he's done, I've done, as in like training. He hasn't done anything different. So you just believe in it because it's the advertisement. And people obviously tag them in because they want their post liked. That's what it is. They think that if I tag in this company, people will see that brand, they'll click like and share, but it's actually sharing their thing as well. That's what it is. It's all, they think about themselves. The topic of this picture said, there's like, everyone's seen it now. There's a photo of Leonardo DiCaprio pulling a face. And the title of the photo said, look at everybody realising now the weight training is better than cardio. Well, to start with, let's talk about the word better. Well, better at what? Better at what is better? Well, weight training isn't better than cardio if you want to enter the London Marathon. Only running is good for that. Weight training isn't better than cardio if you want to enter a rowing competition. Rowing's better for that. Weight training isn't better than cardio if you want to increase your aerobic capacity or your anaerobic sprinting. You got to do running. So weight training might help your sprinting. It's not better. Weight training isn't better for a lot of things. So that's a stupid thing to say. Anyway, it's not very scientific at all to say better. In what way? Better than what? In what way? But also, here's the thing another thing I want to talk about is a lot of people join the gym. Like, so I'm making an example of a person. This isn't based off a real person. This is based off a few different people. Generally, what I see, and we'll put them together, add it into one person. So let's say, in the teens, this female was normal size, slim-ish, normal size. If you think about an athletic scale, slightly overweight, living in a rural place in Wales. So normally people don't do a lot of gym work. There's no big gyms around here. There's a couple of little ones. They start to go out drinking. They start to party. They might go to university, where in America there's a lot of emphasis on sports. So you might go to play for the college football team, and then they have cheerleaders or college swimming team and track team. In Britain, the emphasis is go to university to party for 3 years. So you're probably going to get unfit, overweight, unhealthy. Then when you're about 21 years old, you get your career. So probably through your 30, up to your 30, you start to do your job and you might progress in your life. You might get a boyfriend, engaged, a house, married. When you get to 30, then you might have your first child. So by the time you turn to 31, 32, you think, right then, I'm settled now. My kid's gone to school. I'm at home because my husband works and I got a bit of time on my hands. So I'll go to the gym because me and all my yummy mummy friends, we're all a bit chubby. We've all got a bit of money to spend. Now we got, in the 30s, we got a bit of dollar. We can spend on things. When we were 17, we couldn't afford it living with mum and dad. So we'll get our husbands to pay for us to go to personal training. And then you do your personal training. First of all, you meet the leisure centre's personal trainer, who probably not on very much money. So you'll only get a basic personal trainer. You get inducted, you get involved in the training, and after speaking to people, you learn there's a cheaper protein brand than buying it from the leisure centre. You learn that you've lost a bit of weight and you're getting a bit of likes on your Facebook and your socials. So buying new gym clothes every month, you get the nice feeling of buying things, looking good, but also you're getting the thumbs up, so you buy a bit more. But then you might get a suggestion to go to a different gym because it's cheaper, and that personal trainer is probably offering you a special new members discount. So you go to that one. And after about a year or two, you probably switched personal trainers 2 or 3 times. You've been to this fitness class and that fitness class, and you've been to running club and boxercise and kettlebells and weight training, and you've dibbed and dabbed in a few different things. And obviously, you're going to listen to whoever's the personal trainer or the local area fitness guru, because that's all you know. You've never had a lifestyle of working with elite athletes, because we're in the army. They are elite athletes. They are major elite athletes. So you've tried a bit of cardio, because that's the first thing you do when you go to the gym. You try a bit of cardio, and you might have lost 1 or 2 pounds, but it's hard work. It's slow getting there. You do a bit of weights, and then with the weights, you might notice you got stronger. You might notice you got a bit of shape because you built some biceps or some triceps or some abs or some legs. Your quads are growing. You built some muscle. So you think in your mind that weights are better than cardio because you're seeing results. But I'm going to break it down though, that it's not the results that you're seeing which is great. You're not training right. You're not seeing the results because you're not training right, so you're not getting the results you want. But just because you're not getting the results you want, it doesn't mean that one's better than the other. Just you weren't training in the right way. And while I'm at it, I'll even mention as well, I remember there's one of my lecturers at university, and he specialised in cycling. And back in them days, I didn't specialise in cycling, so I was a weight trainer. So it would have been good to talk to him, but I didn't specialise back in them days. I remember him saying that his wife used to do either running or walking for exercise for weight loss. And he was about 40 to 50 years old. So I can imagine she's a middle-aged 40 to 50-year-old lady. And he said that it doesn't matter what he told her, she wouldn't have it his way. She always do the cardio in the fat burning pace. Fat burning, because that's what is on social media, fat burning pace. So it's something like 50 to 60% heart rate, long and slow, lists, low intensity, steady state. So low intensity, very slow walking, steady state. You can walk, but even he said, it's stupid. What you need to do is smash some high intensity cardio first. Get rid of the carbs in the blood, the glycogen, the glucose stores in the liver, in the muscle. Once that's used up, then the body starts using fat. If you just do the low intensity steady state, yes, you will be burning in the fat burning zone, but you can go for days and days and days. If it's 3,500 calories in a pound of fat, and you got 5 stone of fat, that's a lot of calories to be burning low intensity steady state. But if you do high impact cardio, or at a faster rate, you burn the glycogen and then you burn the fat. But it's hard, isn't it? It's hard because when you're running fast, your legs are burning lactic acid. It's hard work. Your heart's pumping, your lungs are pumping. You need to be really motivated to run at that pace until you're fit. So a lot of people can't do the running or the cycling at that pace. And then also, you could probably run for 40 minutes at a high pace, and then you got to do another 40 minutes in the fat burning pace. That's an hour and 20 minutes at least. Who's got that much time? That's why all these classes like MetaFit were invented. Time savers, to burn the calories in the shortest amount of time. Bang for the buck, they say. But obviously a lot of these personal trainers can't run for an hour and 20. A lot of them, they can't run. And they haven't got the time for that either, because are they going to charge you an hour and 20 worth of training plus the 5 minutes of talking and the warm-up plus an hour and a half? You want to pay for something shorter. So then that's why then you do weight training. They can write you a training program, set you on your way, and they can even train a second person on the way. It doesn't mean it's better for them, because they can make you do more things without them doing it. So they say weight training is better because you can't physically run fast enough to make a difference in your cardio, to be burning fat. Can you really run for 2 hours? Not many people can run for 2 hours. You could walk for 2 hours, but like I said, you could walk for days and days and days before burning any fat. Weight training though, you do 3 days a week. You go in there, you lift some heavy weights, and you will see progressions each week. So in your mind, you're thinking, I'm getting better. This personal trainer knows what he's doing. But you would improve even if you did the worst training plan in the world. You would still improve a little bit. So really, your training program that you pay for by the personal trainer probably isn't amazing. It's just that you would improve whatever plan you did, because it's more than what you did last week. As long as it's more, you're going to improve. So you go in there, you lift some heavy weights, you see the numbers going up. 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram, 3 kilogram, I'm getting stronger. You go home and your muscles are aching. Wow, that personal trainer is good. I'm aching. I'm aching more now than what I did from a 3K walk down the park. So he must be good. He's better than the other trainer. My abs are killing me. My legs, they're killing me. I can't walk for a week. Is that a good thing? Is that a really good thing for a personal trainer to be thrashing somebody that much that they can't sit down and walk for a week? Yeah, DOMs you get after 2 days, and you might be stiff for a day, and then you hit it again. But I know some people are aching for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they go up, they train, and they're knackered. Then they go up, and they're knackered. It's too high. You're smashing your customers too high. Keep it minimum dose response. Just a bit. Just do enough, just to make them grow a little bit, and then it goes down, they recover, and then a few days later, hit it again and again. Instead of 3 hard sessions a week, do 5, slightly less intensity, hit it again. Don't let it go up, don't let it come down. But with the weight training, and then everyone does weight training, they go, I put weight on in the first few days. Yeah, because you think you've done an hour's training. And if you wear a heart rate monitor, it might tell you burnt 1,000 calories, but the heart rate monitor doesn't know what exercises you did and what weight you did. You can work it out. You can get a 20 kilogram weight plate on each side of the bar, and you can work out the distance traveled, and you could work out, if you're good at maths and physics, you can work out the weight and then how many kilojoules of energy it takes to lift the weight up and calculate into calories. You could work out roughly how many reps, the distance traveled, and you could roughly work out the calories burnt. But normally, going off your heart rate, you can't just say I burnt 800 calories in a weight training session, because if you go running for an hour, you are running for an hour, and you can see on your Strava or your Garmin that your heart rate stays the same, your strides per minute stays the same. You can see the altitude, and you can see in the map where you've been. If you go weight training for an hour, you could write it down. You did 10 reps, 3 sets for 5 exercises, and you had whatever minutes rest in between, and you change the weights. But if you work it out, how many minutes you've actually exercised for in that 60 minutes, it's not a very long time at all. You haven't actually done a lot of exercise. Yeah, it's different because you're lifting the weight up, you're lowering it down. But I wouldn't listen to the calories. But then people then say, I've burnt 1,000 calories, so I'm going to go home. As long as I'm in my 500 calorie deficit for the day, I can eat so many calories of protein and so many calories of fat and carbs. But they'll estimate it completely wrong based off the heart rate and the calories burnt. So they've estimated it wrong. So the ovaries, that's puts weight on. Also then, because you've used up the glycogen in the muscles from doing weight training, your muscles are then going to soak back up carbs and refuel. Carbs then soak back up water, so you're adding on water. You're then going to increase the fat because you've had too much protein, because a lot of personal trainers will, if they're selling protein especially, they'll tell you to have more than what you should have. But then the protein intake will rebuild muscle, but it can't be stored, so it turns into fat. So the extra carbs you have is fat, extra protein you have is fat, extra fats you have is fat, because everyone says avocados, peanut butter, so they're having too much fat. And then they completely quit doing the cardio, so they're not burning off that fat as well. But also the bone density. When you're doing weight training, your bone density So the thickness of the bones, how strong they are, how thick they are inside. They won't actually change shape. They're not going to get thicker, but inside, all the little bits of the bones inside will be thicker from the weight training. So you will be heavier. So you will put weight on. And then eventually, you once your muscle goes so much, your metabolism will go up, and then your fat might come down. But thing is, it depends what your goal is. If you want to be big, yeah, weight training is better. If you want to be slim, like a female wants to be slim and lose weight, well, for start with, the personal trainer should tell you at the beginning of the training program, yes, cardio is hard. Cardio is it's going to take a long hours running to lose weight. And yes, once you've lost all the fat, you won't have a magic body underneath. You won't get a six pack, biceps and lean legs just from doing running. Because if you haven't got the muscle there, some muscle might waste away, some fat will waste away. You will be left with a skinny body. But he should say, do some cardio, but also do some weights. Don't do just cardio, don't do just weights. Do a bit of both. Depending on what your goal is, you weight it towards one or the other. So if you want to be really fit and a bit lean, you do loads of cardio with a bit of muscle. If you want to be just muscly, yeah, you can lay off the cardio a bit, but for your health, for your lungs, your heart, your general fitness, you still need to do some cardio. What you don't want to do is do what a lot of bodybuilders do. They yo-yo between summer, winter. So they call it off-peak and peak, or bulking and cutting. But unless you're a bodybuilder actually entering competitions, they do bulk to get bigger. So they're bigger than last year. So when they cut, they end up being leaner at a bigger size the next year. So to improve, they want to get bigger, and then every year slowly go bigger. If you're not going to enter competitions, what are you cutting for? Just to go on the beach. And then what are you bulking for? Don't use it as an excuse just to eat as much as you like in the winter, wear a big hoodie, and don't do any cardio. Because all you're going to do is, it's just an excuse to eat, and do heavy weights. Heavy weights means long rest periods, which basically means you don't want to work hard. You just want to do 3 heavy reps and then say I'm done, instead of doing 30 medium reps and sweating and another hard exercise. And it's a good excuse just to eat. But you haven't changed your lifestyle. The whole point of doing exercise and fitness is to be healthy, to watch what you're eating all the time, to watch what you're training all the time. Eat healthy, sleep all the time, drink lots of water all the time, not just bulk cut. The amount of bodybuilders I see who are real bodybuilders now who enter competitions, when they're cutting, they're sweating, just walking. You can hear them doing their vlogs and they're out of breath, just walking. It's actually disgusting. And then they enter a bodybuilding competition. Yeah, they might win, they might be happy, but then they build a big, massive Oreo cake with as much Oreos and Twixes and Kit Kats and toffee crisps all just snapped off and jammed into the cake. It's like, what are you doing? It's disgusting. Why are you eating like that? Yeah, you haven't had any sugar for a couple of weeks, but all you're going to do is go woof. And I can show you my graphs. I've done it. I've been lean and down to 0% water and fat. And then as soon as you touch a bit of food the next day, you put on a stone in a couple of days. And it's all water retention. Your legs will be puffy, your face will be puffy, your hands hurt, your feet will hurt. You won't get any clothes on. So what I'm trying to say is, weight training isn't better than cardio. Cardio isn't better than weight training. It depends what you want to do. If you want to run a London Marathon, running is the best exercise for you. If you want to be a powerlifter, weight training is the best exercise for you. If you just generally want to be lose body weight in fat, get a bit of a six-pack, be fitter and healthier, then you've got to do a bit of both. You've got to watch what you're eating all the time. You've got to sleep, drink water, eat healthily, do cardio, get your steps in, get your average heart rate down, get your maximum heart rate up, get your breathing good, get your strength up, get your muscle up. Don't fall into the trap of muscle is better than cardio. Weights are better than cardio. It's just a trap for them to sell products on social media. And people will fall for it. People will fall for it. They'll say, "Oh, Steve, you're just being jealous." I'm not being jealous because, like I've said, I don't work for any industry. I'm not going to hashtag or add in any company. This is my own video, my vlog, 36 minutes of waffling on. Nobody probably watched this far, but don't fall into the trap. The weights are better than cardio. I've done both at both ends of the scales. I've been high up there in both levels, and it depends what you want to do. Speak to your personal trainer. Don't just listen to what they want to teach you. Tell them what you want and make sure your plan is aimed at what you want to achieve. No personal trainer is better than the other one. No plan is better than the other one. They all work. Depends what you want. Okay, that's enough, I think, for today, waffling on. I'll probably speak to you again tomorrow. Or even this afternoon after I run. Might talk a bit more running this afternoon. I got a few new goals. Okay, stay tuned. See you later.